I'm your host Rob, and today we'll be reading I'm a Retired Cat Burglar. Ask Me Anything. Well, I quit the practice quite a while ago, but perhaps I can satisfy any burning questions any of you may have. Questions about safety, the answers to which will probably terrify you, the why and how, or just about anything are quite acceptable. Obviously, I'm using a throwaway for this, and yes, I'm using protection to hopefully keep myself safe. So please be a bit understanding if I happen to be responding slower than you'd like. And to answer what I know will be the single biggest question, no, I never got caught. I quit on my own choosing after moving away and finding a decent job. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Biggest haul or weirdest thing you ever saw in a house? The weirdest thing I ever saw was somebody who apparently collected those wooden Indian statues from outside cigar shops. They had more than I cared to count. I cannot tell you how creepy it is to be in a house with those things lurking in the shadows, staring at you. That particular house actually scared me a bit because I kept jumping, thinking that the statues were a person. A statue would be a random corner and I would see it and my heart would start racing. My biggest haul, probably around $1,000. I never went for electronics, just quick and easy poundables or cash. What's easy and quick? Poundables. And where did you look for cash? Quick and easy poundables are jewelry for the most part, but I drew the line at wedding rings and wedding bands. I never stole a person's wedding rings. I would look for cash on kitchen counters, in the coffee pot, as well as in the cupboards near it, around the area where the keys were hung, in jars and boxes, especially ones on the upper shelves of bookcases, in bedrooms on vanities, and in the clothing drawers, under beds, under mattresses, under lamps. Yeah, quite a few people hid cash under lamp pedestals and just about anywhere that there didn't seem to be much collected dust, but a small enclosure, small drawers and cabinets. Yes, I would take a glance at the level of dust in the house to get an idea for the well-traveled areas. I generally didn't bother with a safe though. A lot of crooks do, but if they have a vehicle available, but since I had to do hoof for it, lugging around a safe, it would be too obvious. Single most expensive object stolen. Most stolen from one house at the same time. Any incidents with dogs or homeowners actually home? Scariest moment. Most expensive watch? The gold watch. I could have grabbed a diamond wedding ring, but even I have standards. Most stolen from one house was around $1,000. And dogs? Let me give you the lowdown on dogs. They aren't protection or security. A dog can easily be tamed usually. Act friendly, give it a few rubs, and they'll happily follow you around. If that doesn't work, after my first run-in with an annoying dog, a small yappy dog, I started carrying a rawhide stick that stopped them very fast. Also, on the topic of dogs, if you want a secure dog, get a small, loud dog that barks at almost everything. Big dogs may look scary, but considering most people don't like the chances of their dog turning on them, their dogs are either very tame or chained up. Small dogs, however, bark a lot. Those were the only ones I was ever worried about. Even then, as I said, a stick or two of rawhide and they were down for the count. Scariest moment? I tried climbing up on a deck roof to get to an open window and I slipped. I caught myself and I was only on the first floor roof. But my heart was pounding that entire hit as it never had been in any other. Apparently the best security animals are geese. Will start honking at anything and can't be bribed. The fact that a person has a flock of geese in their homes to begin with would probably scare off most crooks. My house was robbed once. Someone showed up to the house halfway through and freaked the person out because there was a whole heap of our stuff stacked at the front door. They only got away with a few bits and pieces, but the thing that freaked out me the most was the fact that my brother's ashes was stacked on top of everything. Devastating piece of crap, whoever it was. Ashes. I have no clue why a person would go for that, unless they earn a value. I would never have done such a thing. I even refused to steal wedding rings and wedding bands. It wasn't even an actual urn. We have only had them for 2 weeks, so they were in a plastic box with a sticker on the front saying what they were. As weird as this is gonna sound, I'm glad there are good burglars out there. Did you ever carry a weapon with you? Have you considered using it or threatening to use it when given the opportunity? Did you steal during the day, night? And did you study the houses and their occupants carefully to avoid confrontations? I had a pocket knife with a 3-inch blade, but that wouldn't have done done much as a weapon against somebody in their own house. It was mostly for cutting a screen or similar situations. I wouldn't have used it though as a weapon. If I had ever encountered a person, I would have just run. My hits were during the day around 10 or 2. People were at work, and it was either before or after lunch. Night hits are only in the movies, books, and jail thieves. People are at home at night, and far too many people have guns. I never made a hit at night. I never wanted to. As for studying, not usually. I might make a pass and then come back an hour or two later. But I usually have my eye kept for obvious reasons, that nobody at home. No cars, no movement, no flickering, TV, computer. The times I do study was usually when the houses were near parks. I would watch for a bit longer without making people suspicious. Even though I usually just watch in the kitchen if I could for an hour or so. How accurate is Home Alone? I actually tripped on toys once. The room's curtains were drawn and the light switch was not very close to the door. I didn't have a flashlight. I made hits during the day and never really needed one. And when I went to the room, I stepped on and broke an old Dino Rider toy. Seeing that toy brought back a lot of memories, and felt worse for breaking that toy than I did for breaking into and robbing the house. Were you ever afraid of a homeowner with a gun? That's about the only thing I was truly afraid of. Just out of curiosity, from your point of view, a homeowner would be in the right to kill you if he or her were to catch you in the act. Did you consider your life or forfeit when you entered a home, or did you really not think about the dying part? I never did come to terms with that question, and I've thought about it quite a bit over the years. Would they be in the right? Yes. In my mind, I don't know. I considered I was doing a do or die situation, so I felt that what I was giving was forgivable. But I don't think I would have held any grudge against a person who shot to kill. To be fair, though, I would fall to the ground and beg and plead like a little baby. At which point, if I had not already been shot, killing me would be considered a murder. Yeah, you read that right. The laws in several states, including the one I was in, are so FUBARE that shooting a person who had broken your house but is in a position to surrender, or some nonsense, is considered murder. I never really worried about it though. As I said before, where I was in life at the time, there wasn't much left for me. The house I live in with my boyfriend was broken into and most of our stuff was stolen about a year ago. It was seriously one of the most traumatic events of my life. We're college kids and lost pretty much everything we own of any value. I still have trouble sleeping at night and have had to install alarms on everything. I just can't believe a human being could do that to another human. We're all in this together. No question, just want to be. I'm glad you stopped. Cheers to your new job and hope that goes well, and you never feel inclined to return to the lifestyle. I'm going to give you the best advice for home security you will ever get. Window laminate. Alarms, dogs of that are either useless or reactionary. The only thing that they ever shut me down were laminated windows. A crook's biggest weapon is speed, and the biggest enemy is time. If somebody were to break into your home and end up hitting a window that were laminated, they would, in almost every case, run off. It isn't even all that expensive, especially you need to laminate the first floor windows and any windows on a first floor roof on a 2-story house, such as a porch or a deck roof. Don't waste money on alarms or dogs. Spend it on good window laminate put in by professionals and you'll be much safer. Exactly how many cats have you burgled? I've never burgled any cats, but if you count the dogs I've bribed, it's probably in the 30 to 40 range. I never actually stole them, though, just bribed. We talking doggy treats or horse tranquilizers here, broski? Rawhide sticks actually. It was an easy fit in my pocket, and it would satisfy pretty much every dog. How close did you come to being caught in the act? Ever leave any incriminating evidence behind? The closest was passing by a police car as they were going to the house. I was a few blocks away at the time. I was never really close to being caught, but the question of it was always there. I would usually be in and out in under 5 minutes. Evidence? No, not that I can think of. I was never caught, so I guess I didn't leave anything incriminating. If I did forget something. Burglars don't tend to be solved. It's just not worth the police's time, unless the homeowner catches you in the act, or the police just happen to see you climb through the window. Then you're likely to get away with it. How easy was it for you to enter targeted houses? What were your techniques? It was very easy. My method of entering was usually to find a decent backyard window and break it. Entering through there, I had a secured hello duct tape, a sharp rock to an elbow guard, and would just hit the window. The worst times were when I forgot my gloves and had no way of opening the window. You'd be amazed at how many windows are painted shut or were never meant to be opened to begin with. I had a pair of heavy mesh gloves to clear away glass at those times, and if I forgot them and couldn't find another means of clearing the glass, I'd abort the attempt. I kind of pity those who, more than the other ones, actually got robbed, because they would come home to a broken window and that was it. Rather insulting, I think. Furthermore, they'd spend the rest of their lives wondering what you just stole. How many times are we talking here when you forgot your gloves? Seems like gloves would be pretty high up on the list of items you're going to need to go out cat burglaring. Not many. Over the year and a half I was active, I think only happened twice. What are things that you look for that made you select a property? And how did you offload hot items? Did you have a fence or random cells? How does that work? No cars in the drive on the street. Plenty of windows on the garage to check for cars inside. Larger windows on the front of the house. Easy to see inside, no to case. No flickering TV, computer. No music. Signs of a decent person. A well manicured lawn, well tended flowers, and a clean sidewalk and drive. It's 10 AM. You're probably at work and an enclosed backyard. Seriously, the worst thing you can do other than leaving everything wide open with signs announcing it is to have an enclosed backyard. I realized I edited my comment and didn't catch you in time. But would you fill me in the offloading question? How did you offload hot items? Did you have a fence or random cells? How does that work? Sorry for the ninja edit. I was trying to ask original questions. Offloading was usually to a pawn shop or in the paper. I would hold on to the physical items for a few weeks to a month before putting them out. Usually I went in for cash, and yes, I admit this, piggy banks. Generally though, pawn shop exists that will buy your stuff without asking any questions. I didn't always get the best prices for the stuff because of that, but when the choices is mediocre or poor prices, no questions or good prices plus questions, try to avoid the latter. Were you ever nervous they would see your face and then trace the items back to you? As in, they would find items and somehow discover you on film later or such from the shop. Were you often a nervous wreck? I would be. F to be sick, constantly worrying that I would be facing prison every day I woke up. One more. What did you buy with the money? I always had a mask when I broke into houses, so I wasn't afraid of being caught on home cameras. As for being traced and caught, I was never worried. I've mentioned that at one point in my life, it was do or die. To me, spending time in prison would have been better than the life I was living. Prison gives you 3 hot and a cold, meaning 3 hot meals and a dry place to sleep. I was living in a slummish apartment at the time. Most of the money went to keep myself alive. The rest I saved up until I can get out of the apartment and into a decent place where I was able to get an actual job. Honest question, I am armed, but if I encounter a thief, I would order them to stop and attempt to force the compliance. I'd react based on their actions from there. Escalation only when merited. Would you like to comply if you were startled by an armed owner screaming at you to comply, or reject the risk of getting hit/owner not caring about you, firing, and just run instead? For effect it matters, it's an M4, not sure if you even care. If they had a gun, I'd do exactly as they said. If it was a melee weapon and they were not blocking the exit, I'd try to escape. Any type of firearm would turn me into a blubbering wreck, though, but do not think this answer goes for everybody. Plenty of crooks will try to escape or defend themselves. If you catch a person trying to break your home and you have a gun, shoot twice to kill. Do not attempt to apprehend them or stop them if you tend to kill them. If you want to do that, just hide and call the police. If you're going to confront somebody who has broken into your home, you do so with only one conviction. One of us is leaving this house dead. Any other reaction to a confrontation is a fool's gambit.